I want to show you guys this really easy kind of like date night look. This could be really perfect for any sort of like summer evening, something that's like a little bit dressier. You want the makeup to be untraceable. You don't want to look like you're wearing pounds of makeup. I feel like that really applies if you're going on dates. You want it to last a long time, but you just want it to feel like you, like an enhanced version of you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let's get started. The first thing that I think is the most important is your skincare. I really like Rhode products. I'm just a big fan. I think that I kind of have combination skin. It can be dry in some areas and maybe a little bit oily in the T-zone. So I like to just do a really basic hydration. I'm just going in with something that I know isn't going to clog my pores. It's not too heavy, it's not too oily. You could just do the glazing milk by itself and call it a day. I am going to go in with her glazing fluid as well. Just a little bit. You could even give yourself a little lymphatic while you're letting that moisturizer soak in. How you prep your skin is completely going to affect the way your makeup looks, so it is crucial to find products that work for you, that hydrate you. Both of these Rhode products work really nicely under makeup. Would recommend. They're also not that expensive. Once I feel like that's kind of soaked into the skin, I'm going to use a little bit of SPF. I don't think that glow screen has any flashback in my experience, so if somebody were to take a flash photo of you, you'd be fine, but I don't know why your date would do that. It's nice to kind of hit this area. Patrick Ta also makes a body glow that would be really pretty, but if your skin is showing, like your collarbones and your shoulders and stuff, I feel like this just makes you look really healthy and your date's gonna be like, damn. Or if you're at a wedding or something. But I would just say the only thing that comes to mind for me is like, I think sunscreen or like Patrick's products really safe. Something that you know if you hug somebody, it's not going to get on their white t-shirt. I am going to start with my eyebrows. I feel like it's good because you can kind of lift your face, get a good canvas going, see what's happening. So I'm using Refi's Brow Sculpt, and I'm just going to fluff the eyebrows up. Let's all help each other in the comments. If you guys know of a drugstore product that is comparable to Refi or Anastasia Brow Freeze, comment. I haven't found one yet, but I will do my research. I will always link dupes on Like to Know It, and all the products I've used in this video will also be on my Like to Know It. Just had to say that. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with underpainting. I'm going to use something that I'm working on because I think it's the best thing I've ever put on my face and I'm obsessed with it, and I actually didn't use it yesterday in my routine and I thought my makeup looked like shit. It's probably not going to be out till next year. Hopefully something sooner happens, but I'm gonna underpaint and then I'll come back. So this is how I like to underpaint. I do the cheekbones, the forehead, the nose, just to give a little bit of a slim contour, and then I cut the jaw. You can use any brush for this. I'm just gonna take kind of a dense one. This is how, if you wanna use a brush instead of going in with the product directly, that's fine. Just cut it here. And then when you're applying here, you wanna apply on the cheekbone and kind of dragging upwards. So something like a really blendable cream that's gonna look natural and skin-like and have a dewy finish is crucial, I think, for this look. So we have a good base. This is the point where I would probably go straight in with concealer, but for the sake of this video, I'll use a tinted moisturizer. I'm gonna use Laura Mercier. This is really beautiful. I've used this for a long time, and again, it's just one of those products that looks like your skin. Light layer all over the face. Do not forget to blend on the ears, please, if your ears are showing. And most importantly, blend down the jaw. Do not forget, go overboard with this. Okay, a little bit of concealer. I'm gonna use two different kinds. I'm using Tarte Creaseless and then NARS Creamy Concealer. I like this Tarte one because it has a little peach undertone, which is good for dark, kind of like blue and purple colors. It cancels out dark circles. But I'm mostly going to use my NARS one because I like the formula. So I'm going to go like this with the NARS. A little bit of concealer goes a long way. So these are the areas. Go for it. Be here with this peach color. A little bit here. I'm gonna use this side of Mario's brush. Also been loving Hourglass concealer brush. also like a big fluffy brush. I am just going to light blend kind of upward and outward and tap it in as we get to the lower lash. And with the excess, I'm going to prime the lid. So I'm dragging it up. If you want to blend with this side, the bigger parts, go for it. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit. Blush time. This is where we're gonna get kind of flirty and fun. This is the brand Danessa Myricks. This is in the shade It Girl. This is like insanely pigmented, so you need the tiniest bit. I'm gonna go in with this brush. And I'm kind of gonna like blow this out so it kind of melts into the bronzer, so it doesn't look like you have a harsh dot of blush on the apple of your cheek. Blow it out, up, and kind of into the eye. And just anywhere like the sun would hit naturally. So a little on the forehead is what I like to do. Kind of bringing it in. You want it to look really like effortless. You can always add more blush towards the end. I'm gonna move on to the eyes. We already have kind of that like residue blush in the crease. I'm gonna take this Laura Mercier Caviar color stick in the shade Dune, matte light pink. And I think kind of a pinky vibe is what we're going for. So directly on the eyelid with this. And then you can just take your finger and smudge it out. It's like a nice base. It gives a nice light wash of color on the eye. You want to take a flat brush and blend this on there. You can kind of pack it on all over the eyelid. Not really taking this in the crease, just focusing it on the eyelid. You could leave it like that if you want, or we could smoke it out, make it a little bit more sexy nighttime. I'm taking Patrick Ta's palette, and I'm gonna take these two shades here. And I'm gonna kind of buff this in the crease, deep in the outer corner. I'm just gonna go kind of packing it, starting on the outer corner, taking the rest and blending. It's always good to have like a big clean brush that's fluffy kind of nearby, just to diffuse anything. I honestly love how this looks as it is. It's like really flirty and pretty and matte. I'm gonna take the same two shades on a more precise brush and just run that right under the lower lash. We could leave it at that. If you want to smoke it a little bit more, I would just go down the row. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and this. If you have deeper skin, you could probably use those as your transitions. And then for this, I'm just going to use the tip of the brush and just really focus it on that outer corner of the eye. A little bit into the crease, but not too much. Okay, with a clean fluffy brush, just diffuse that. Okay, you could leave it like this. I feel like this is really pretty. It's not too much. I think it's just like flirty and fun and cute. Or you could go in with a little bit of shimmer. If you do shimmer, I would just do a very light amount. He has some really pretty shimmers in this palette. If you want to do a little shimmer, you could also use something really iridescent and subtle and just gives you like a sheer shine. So if you do that, I would just take it on your hand or a flat brush, and I would just kind of do it like that. So when it catches the light, it's really pretty and subtle. This is Space Cowboy by Urban Decay. You could also like substitute this with any color. So instead of pink, if you want to do all these steps with like a brown or a nude, feel free. I'm not going to do anything intense. I'm going to take a little bit of a brown pencil and line the tight line. So it gives a really subtle, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Just to thicken the lash line a little bit, I'm actually going to curl the lashes and then go in with a brown mascara. Sometimes black on my eyes, unless I'm doing like a full wing, can be a little bit intense, so I like doing brown. I'm gonna use Tower 28s in the shade Drift. Cool. Your face and everything, by the way, it looks really skin-like, really beautiful. We're gonna do some finishing touches with powders, blushes, bronzers, everything on the skin so it lasts all night, but it still looks really natural because right now it genuinely looks like my skin. If you want to hit the lower lashes with a mascara, go for it. If you want to do eyeliner, go for it. I'm not going to because it transfers really easily for me, and on like a date night or if I'm going out or a wedding or anything, I don't know if I'd want it to transfer. You could also opt for a waterproof one that would prevent it from transferring. It's a big sponge. I'm just going to kind of go over everything, press it into the skin. I'm gonna go in with like a pink powder so we can brighten a little bit. Something I really like to use is a powder puff. Just in the center where I would get oily or want to brighten, I'm gonna go right under the eye and just kind of in this T-zone area. Looks really airbrushed and nice. It still looks really skin-like, which is obviously my main goal. So I'm only setting the center of the face because I'm gonna go in with a powder bronzer. I'm gonna go with Mario's. Something fluffier, not as dense, is gonna be really nice for warming up the face with bronzer, because I feel like when you use something more dense, it kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't look as airbrushed, if that makes any sense. Okay, highlight time. I'm gonna use a cream highlight, and just because we put a little bit of powder on, it's not going to cling. I think if you did like a bunch of powder pressed into the face and then went with a cream, it can sometimes look like it clings and it's dry and it's breaking up the product. We used so little, and with this puff it was so specific where we put it. A little cream on the cheekbone isn't going to break apart or kind of like ruin the look, the skin-like look. In fact, I actually think it's going to bring a lot of skin-like texture back because we're using a really hydrating highlight cream. And just kind of press it in, and then I also am just going to blend it right down the bridge of the nose. It's subtle, it's never going to look cakey, it's always going to look really skin-like, which I love. I'm going to go in with Dior's Rosy Glow in the shade 001 Pink. It's like a true hot pink, and just tap it really lightly. I've been wearing my Laneige lip mask through this whole video. I'm gonna wipe that off. I'm gonna do a slight overline. This is actually NYX in the shade Magic Maker. It's like a dark berry, so I'm doing a really light hand. If you don't want your liner to go anywhere, you can take a little bit of the powder Now would be the time if you want to go in with a little bit of chapstick or Aquaphor or a lipstick. I'm going to go in with my YSL. This is in the shade 44. It's just like your perfect light pinkish nude, and I think it's really sweet with the eyes. Cute. Let me make sure I like this lip color. I don't. That's the truth. Yeah, I like that more. I use that blush just a really tiny bit on the lips. Oh, of course, I'm gonna add, this is totally optional, I'm gonna add a couple fake freckles because I feel like at the end it kind of brings back the skin. I like how it looks. You do not have to do this, but I feel like after you put makeup on, if you kind of have a couple shining through, it really like reinforces that no makeup look. And then the last thing we're doing is a spray. Okay, this is it. It's so flirty and pretty and fresh faced, and it's easy. It really looks like your own skin. Again, if you have acne or places you want to cover, you can add more powder, concealer, or foundation in those areas, but I would use a really light hand overall and then just build where you need the coverage. I feel like that's my biggest tip I hope you take away, is just starting with a light hand, because that's what gets you that skin-like finish. Also, the prep gets you the skin-like finish. So the good hydrating base, the moisturizer, the lip prep, you want to put your lip mask or treatment or whatever you have on before, so it's like really hydrating the lips as you're doing the rest of the face. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment other videos you want to see. There will be a new vlog next weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.